The latest edition of Down East Magazine is out now, and this is a big one. It's celebrating 250 years of Maine in America. Will Grunwald is the editor-in-chief of Down East Magazine, and he is here with a look at what's inside of the magazine for July. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So it's a timely issue. America's going to be celebrating its 250th birthday in a couple weeks. Your article highlights 25 different ways that Maine has influenced our country, from everything from boats and shipbuilding to organic food and how to tackle pollution. This was your article. Was there a particular topic or person that you discovered that you were really drawn to?
You know, I mean, the big picture appeal of it was we spent a lot of time at the magazine thinking about what makes Maine great to the people who live here or otherwise visit here and just love the state. This was a chance to kind of flip the perspective and think about Maine from an outside point of view almost, and think about its impact on the country beyond its borders. It was a really fun exercise.
Yeah, was there anything that really stuck out to you in particular?
Oh geez, I mean, in general, right? Like the idea that we're a pretty small state, and we've had a pretty outsized impact on a lot of aspects of national culture, history, politics. You name it. Maine's probably played a part. Yeah, there's stuff to be proud of, like a huge role in abolitionism in the antebellum years. There's stuff that I'm not as fond of, like Maine was a real trailblazer in the Prohibition movement, and that was a mistake.
And you do highlight some key people from Maine as well. One of them was Fly Rod Crosby, who became the first registered Maine guide in our state. So it might seem obvious, but why did you want to include her and her story in there?
Right. So she's someone who's obviously important right within Maine, and I think a pretty well-known historical figure. But her national significance is that she started writing this newspaper column for the paper, and she's from Phillips near Rangeley, little town, had its own newspaper. And her column got picked up and syndicated by big city newspapers in New York, Boston, Chicago. And she became very influential in turning like hunting and fishing from like essentially subsistence pastimes into or true pastimes, leisure pastimes for America that they just really weren't before. And made Maine really central to that culture. So key people, and then lobster rolls and beer also made the cut, which is two things that Maine they're known for. But here's the cool thing, or I don't think it's that cool. I'm a little annoyed that we don't know where the lobster roll originated from. I say it's cool because I'm like, I want to grab it for Maine, but we can't really do that. No, I mean, history is usually kind of murky, right? Especially with lobster rolls. But I think what you can say for sure is that Maine has become the national capital of the lobster roll. And you can find like a Maine lobster roll in like Tokyo or Paris. I mean, it's become deeply associated with the state and has had a huge impact on cuisine, not just nationally, but internationally even. So I think we can claim them as our own at this point.
Yeah, it's a Maine tradition. And another tradition that the magazine touches on is one that people get really excited for every year in Bath. It's the Fireman's Muster. I've never actually seen something like this in action, but the pictures look really, really cool. Tell me about this.
Yeah, right. It kind of looks like a giant water gun fight almost. And like if you go, you might well get wet. But yeah, it's this very old tradition in Bath. I think it started in like 1849 or something like that. And essentially it's these old hand crank fire engines that would have been pulled to the site of a fire by a team of horses, and they require a team of people to crank them and build up enough pressure to shoot water. And what happens now is these antique engines, people bring them to Bath and they compete to see how far their team can shoot. It's quite a scene. People, families and teams have been doing this for generations at this point, and it's part of their 4th of July festivities, so it's a great scene in general.
Looks like a great time, something they look forward to every year, and something that we've all started looking forward to every summer are food trucks in Maine. You guys have another article that looks at kind of Maine's food truck landscape and just how it's a big, hot thing, and it's even showing that colleges are taking advantage of food trucks these days.
No, that's an interesting quirk in the whole thing. Is that UMaine and Orono and Husson
both have incorporated food trucks into their like dining service program, which seems novel and creative and fun.
Yeah.
And more broadly around the state, I mean, this is definitely the season, right? I mean, this is
Absolutely.
not that food trucks aren't around all year, but this is when they're really all hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, and the variety of food that you can check out. Were there any food items that you saw or any trucks in general that you're like, oh, I got to hit that this summer?
I mean, I've eaten my way around Maine's food trucks pretty well at this point, but I am partial to just like a really good hot dog. And there's a new truck. Oh man, the name's going to escape me, but they do Icelandic style hot dogs.
Ooh.
They have an unusual set of toppings on them, and they're made with lamb by W.A. Bean up in Bangor,
Nice.
especially for the truck.
Yeah.
And that's high on my to hit list
I love
this
that.
summer.
Hopefully you can get a red snappa in there too. You get?
Those are never a wrong choice either.
Love it. Well, Will G, always good to see you. Thanks for being here. Will Grunwald is the editor-in-chief of Down East Magazine. You can read all about these topics and more in the July issue. Stay with us. 207 is back right after this.